Hello everybody, my name is Victor Pagan. I'm a portrait photographer based out in LA. And today we're going to be shooting in 35M Pro Studio with a model. So if you had a film camera and you're kind of curious, how do I get my film camera to shoot strobes, shoot in a studio setting, this is going to be the video for you. So we're going to be shooting with some Portra 400, start off with some Cinestill 400D, and end off with some black and white Ilford Delta 100. The cameras we're going to be using are a Hasselblad 503 CW. This is going to switch out between black and white and color, so you guys can kind of see the difference between using black and white and color with strobes in a studio setting. We're also going to be using two Leicas, one for composing and one for actually taking the shot on film. Some of the things you're going to need to actually shoot in a studio with your film camera is a film camera, of course. You might also need a sync cable, which will work for the triggers that you're going to use for your strobe. So when you buy your strobes are going to come with a trigger, and if your triggers have an in and out port, you can use the sync cables to link up with your film camera. If your film camera is a little bit more modern, it might have a hot shoe, and with the hot shoe you will be able to fire the trigger without TTL. It's going to be all manual exposure, but we're going to go over that today. For the light on Bailey's side, this is the side that's facing the actual light coming down. So again, we know this was 1/500 f2.8, and on this side behind her, where there's going to be no light coming in, we're measuring at f2 1/500. Since we have a shutter speed of 1/500 and an aperture of 2.8, my Hasselblad can't go down to past f4, so we're going to make some adjustments with our shutter speed to be able to get those settings within range. And that will give us perfect exposure for our scene. Alright, so now that we have sort of a basic idea of what to do with one strobe, we're actually going to add in another strobe into the mix. And something to keep a note, when you have your trigger, let's say you have a trigger that's similar to this, it's going to have channels and GR. You want to make sure that all your strobes that you're using are on the same channel and the same GR, so that way they are firing at the same time. We're doing everything manually as far as the lighting goes on each strobe. So I'm gonna take some shots on digital just for adjustment's sake and to make sure that everything is perfect. We're going to take some measurements on our light meter, and we're going to take the rest of the shots on film. We know that the front is firing at f5.6, 1/500th, and the rear is f8, 1/500th. So our rear light is actually a bit brighter than our front light. This is okay for what I'm going to do. Just for a simple example, with black and white and with color. So we're going to know that Bailey's hair is going to be a bit more brighter, it's going to glow a bit more, especially since her hair is dark blonde, dark dirty blonde, and then the front is going to be just more perfectly exposed. So I'm going to actually measure for, or adjust my settings for the front light and let the rear light be a little bit more overexposed. All over the place when I shoot, so just a little, yeah. 1, 2, 3. What are we on? 7. Okay, so you guys are done with your film. You've shot everything that you wanted to shoot. Now you need a place to go. 35M Pro is going to be the lab that we're going to send out this film to. They're going to develop it, scan it, print it, and you guys can see all of the differences between using digital camera, using 35mm film camera, and using 120 film. And I want to thank everybody at 35M Pro for letting us use the studio. Thank you, Bailey, for being our excellent model for today, and everybody else behind the scenes that put this together.
Film is forever.